Hello everyone, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today I'm again with my good friend Ty, and we are enjoying this beautiful day in this beautiful street which leads to Hikawa Chinja. If you haven't seen my video, please check it out. It's a beautiful shrine, and I'll make another video about it. But today we're gonna have a big chit chat about some random general stuff. So stay tuned, and I do hope you will enjoy this video. So keep watching. Okay, Kai, tell us something about the history of Ireland.
Well, the history of Ireland, good question. Well, Ireland, like India, has a very long history. The, I think the biggest part of the Irish history is the Celtic culture, and it's also we can see it in Scotland and Wales and parts of Britain like Cornwall and France and Brittany. But in Ireland, a very strong part of our national identity is the Celtic culture, like in India, Aryan or Gaelige or whatever. So yeah, it informs our culture. It's very strong, and also Catholic religion. But now religion is declining because of many scandals and things. But I would say the Celtic culture and the religion.
Okay, and I was never a good student when I was in school. Didn't study much about history. Just curious, was Ireland ever conquered or ruled by
Yeah,
other?
yeah, just like India. Ireland was part of the British Empire, like India. So in India you had the British Raj, and in Ireland we were conquered by Britain. So more or less 800 years we were,
800 years?
yeah,
Oh, longer than India. I think
longer than India,
they
yeah,
were in
much
India
longer.
for, I think, 250 years,
Yes,
something
it's
like
the
that.
mid 18th century, yeah, East India Company, and that, yeah. So yeah, we, but we were always rebellious. Like we always had a very deep sense of our own identity, our language, our customs. So yeah, we were influenced by Britain, but still, through language. I speak English because we were conquered by Britain.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would speak Irish.
Uh, I'm not sure if you know about some famous Indian freedom fighters. Like the most famous one, being a Sikh, was a very famous young fella, and he did sacrifice his life to get the freedom,
Mm,
and people do like him.
mm.
How about back in your country?
Oh yeah, yeah. Many like Wolf Tone, Theobald Wolf Tone. He was a freedom fighter. We had Hugh O'Neill. He was a chieftain, Irish chieftain. There were rebels. Uh, yeah, we had many, like in the 1640s, there was an insurrection. Then in 1790, which was a very famous time, France helped us to try and overthrow the British, but it didn't work. A lot of people were executed, like Robert Emmet. So, and then in 1916, during the First World War, some Irish people got together and they made a famous rebellion in Dublin at the GPO, the General Post Office. But they were a lot of the leaders were executed, unfortunately. But it set the wheels turning for the future. And by 1922, we became a more or less independent country.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I was telling you about this young Sikh guy who sacrificed his life.
right.
Uh, do you know anything about him? Do you have any
I
ideas?
know you have a lot of heroes. I know it's a warrior culture, but please, please tell me about him.
Okay, yeah, I think he was hanged when he was 24 or 25.
Mm,
Um, and he was a great guy. He spent a lot of time in prison before he was hanged. His other good fella was also hanged. Actually, there were like three guys who were hanged together. So they are like a big heroes for our society. Those three guys' name was Bhagat Singh, Udham Singh, and Rajguru.
mm,
And yeah, we still celebrate their martyr day.
mm,
So let's
Martin,
yeah. So let's talk about something about
Sure.
family ties.
Right.
How close are families back in Ireland?
Oh, they can be very, very close. Some so-so, my family, I think, would be so-so because it's a very big family. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest child of six.
Yeah.
Uh, so they all live in different places now. Uh, but yeah, I have two brothers and three sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's talk something about the festivals. As you know, in India we have different festivals from different religions,
Mm,
different cultural festivals.
yeah.
How about back in Ireland?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We have a lot of them to do with music, like traditional music, fiddles and bowlons and pipes and guitars and mandolins, bouzouki. We have a lot of traditional music. Like I'm from County Clare in the west of Ireland, so we have the Willie Clancy Festival and for instance, and the Shiamsa Tira or the Shiamsa Cushli, or so we have lots of Shiamsa, which means music festival. And yeah, Irish people love dancing, love music, love drinking. Pub culture is very, very strong, like in the UK. And the Irish pub is so famous around the world. And yeah, like India, we have lots of festivals. Yeah, sure.
How about like food culture?
Not as big as India. We have a food culture, but our cuisine is quite limited, really. Um, like the most famous things are like stew or chowder, fish chowder, or um, brown bread, soda bread. Um, it's tasty, I think, but it's not like in India. You have such a big country; it's so regional. Foods, like Kerala and Punjab and places. So, but in Ireland, it's a small place, only the same size as Hokkaido. So we have lots of dishes, but yeah, but still, in a world sense, it's quite limited. But I think it's tasty, and a lot of it's potato based, not rice. We can't grow rice in my country, so the potato is very important to us.
So, as you mentioned, your country is quite small.
Yeah,
So, how about the weather?
yeah, it's rainy. The sea is very warm, so it brings in a lot of rain. So we don't freeze. We're kind of lucky. But even on the longitude, latitude on the world, we're quite north.
Okay.
But we should freeze, but we don't because the sea stays warm. It's quite wet, quite rainy. But when we have the sunshine, Ireland is so beautiful.
Do you get snow?
We do, but it's not good snow. It's not skiing snow. It's wet snow, and it's not so much,
Okay.
like thickness.
Yeah.
So or deepness could be snow. But in Japan, they're lucky to get the deep powder snow for skiing, but we
Yeah.
don't.
All right. So, um, how would you describe your favorite weather? What kind of weather do you prefer? Doesn't matter back in Ireland or here in Japan
Right now,
right now.
right now is perfect.
Why?
Not too hot, not too cold, nice breeze, um, and yeah, just so comfortable now. And not you don't feel sweaty or you don't feel cold. So right now around 20
Yeah.
is but when it gets over 30, it just gets so tiring and mosquito bites and so that I have to say that the Japanese summer is actually quite exhausting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's talk about education system.
sure.
How would you describe the Irish education system?
Well, the biggest difference between here and in Ireland, and I think like India, the high school is 13 to 18, so you never change. Like when you're 15 here, you must change to another school. We don't. We stay in the same school. So you're there for 5 years or 6 years. So you start at 12, 13, finish at 18. So and then you do two state exams. When you're 15, you do one state exam. Some have the choice to leave and go and work, but it's rare now. Most continue until 18. We do a state exam to get into university, and that's what usually happens. And then we go to university or college, technical college, after 18.
In general, talking about the teachers,
Mm.
are they quite lenient or strict?
depends. Depends. When I was a boy, it was stricter. Now there are many rules about not hitting students or things like that. They have different disciplinary rules now. So, but also in Japan, if you teach children, you don't have to go to the Koban and sign something because in Europe or America, they're very nervous about teachers being potential pedophiles or
Yeah.
things like this. So even my wife, when she taught Japanese in Ireland, she still had to go to the Koban police box and sign a form saying that she could be around, people,
Yeah.
children or something. But yeah,
So when you were in school, was corporal punishment quite common?
well, what we had things like they wouldn't take down your pants, but they would hit you on the hand with a ruler, maybe on the edge, across the back of your hand or on your hand. So that was quite common. Hold out your hand. And so being hit with a plastic or wooden ruler, that was quite common.
How often you got punished?
Once or twice.
Once or
Once
twice?
or twice.
Once or twice a week?
Oh, Harry. Uh, so yeah, sometimes I did. Yeah. So yeah, and I definitely deserved it. I think probably. But yeah.
Yeah. Speaking about myself, I don't remember a single week when I was not punished.
Well,
But 70% of the time it was my fault, and other
Sikh
30%,
Sikh rebel.
yeah, other 30% of the time maybe the teachers wanted to have fun with me. Maybe he enjoyed, particularly my maths teacher.
Mm.
I'm still in contact with him. I met him 3 years ago at my friend's wedding,
Oh,
and he hasn't changed. And he was still yelling at me in the wedding like I was still his student. But it was fun. It's always great to see your teachers because, of course, he taught us a lot of things.
mm.
So I'm grateful.
Yeah, I have one. Actually, that reminds me. I have one teacher that when I was in Shogako or elementary school, we say national or primary school, but his name was Sean Heaslip. He was very kind to me, and I think now I never thought I'd be a teacher, but now when I think about who would I like to be as a teacher, I think about him because he used to talk to us like at the same level. He didn't talk down, and he was a very nice man, and he was very kind to me. Um, so yeah, I have a good memory of him, and I hope he's safe. And he was a good sports player, but he was also a good teacher, and he's just a cool guy. I have good memories of him, and I hope one day I get to meet him because I'm glad you got to meet your teacher. He's a kind of a hero.
Since you left your school,
Mm.
did you ever join any reunions or stuff like that?
No,
Uh,
no, not really. I think most of my friends, the really deep friends that I made, weren't. There were one or two in school, but actually, the really deep friends I had were never really in school. They were outside school, so the street I lived, or when I went to university, I really started to make really good friends. So I didn't actually go to school with my best friends. But I had one or two friends, yeah. But I wasn't that happy at school. I didn't enjoy it, and I don't think I was that good a student.
if I'm not wrong, it's been a while since you have been back to Ireland.
Oh yeah, 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Do you miss home?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Family, friends, places, everything. The mountains, the sea, the forests, the beaches, green fields. Oh yeah. Yeah. Ireland is definitely has a charm about it.
How long does it take from Japan to Ireland?
15 hours.
15 hours. So usually, do you take the direct flight or do you have to?
No, no. Usually we use Etihad.
Yeah,
So Etihad goes from Narita to Abu Dhabi or Doha,
yeah,
Doha,
Doha.
and then change. Depends on. We use Qatar Airways
Yeah,
sometimes, and then we have to spend some time there in the airport, and then we get on the next flight to Dublin,
yeah, yeah,
and then we need to take a bus to the west area.
yeah.
So trains are not so much. They're expensive and quite limited.
All right.
So you usually take coaches and buses.
Yeah, and I also wanted to ask you some question about your future goals. I am sure you are working about a new project
Mm.
on your music.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you like to share something?
Oh, sure. Um, I've got two things going on. That I have a really, really good friend called Lee from Australia, and he's recently moved back. But he's a really good songwriter, and it's really exciting to help him put songs together. So we're trying to put an album together right now. But yeah, we hope by the end of the year we have a good product and something. And we're talking to a producer now, so we hope, fingers crossed, that we get something going there. He lives in Australia, I live here, so we have to do everything through the internet. Not always easy, but we're getting there, and it's quite exciting. He's writing a lot of stuff. The other thing that I have going is, as you saw, Benson and Tyler and Tatsuo, they're nice guys, and I think they would all like to start working again. And Tyler is a songwriter too, a fantastic songwriter, so an arranger, and he plays the bass and piano and stuff, and I play the guitar and sing. Tatsuo plays guitar. Benson plays the drums. So it's a very nice, compact type unit of people, and I hope they can enjoy playing with me, and I can play with them. And we seem to be very, very good, democratic unit. So, like I said, we hope we can play the British pub and do things like that. But we have to take it slowly because, everyone's busy. So, with baby steps. So, yeah, that's my two projects. And I like drawing and art. So, if people want me to help them do something, I would like to have some more opportunities to do that, or maybe make a website to show my art.
If I'm not wrong, your major or something was, I
Art,
think, art, right?
and then graphic design. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So my major is graphic design.
So you never tried to get into graphic designing in Japan?
Never,
What
never.
was the
No.
reason?
The reason was kind of I did work for a magazine in Ireland, and it was kind of a left on bad terms. And then I was working in a printing press in the Irish speaking area, which is called Gaeltacht in Galway, and I couldn't speak Irish well enough. So it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, and I kind of moved away from that and then did other things. Uh, but music was always in the back of my mind. But I think that the art side of it didn't really till I came back to Japan when I was a teacher,
Yeah.
and I used art to help me.
Is there anything other than music or art which you would like to try if you get a chance or if you have time?
I'll get back to cooking. I tried to cook a little bit when I was in university, and it's something that yeah, I was kind of envious of you actually that you're a good cook. Uh, I'd like to do that. I'd like to maybe be able to try and start cooking again or do barbecues or yeah, I like cooking. It's interesting. It's fantastic. It's creative, right? So I think essentially I'm a creative person like you. You're a creative person. So when we do creative things, we're our happiest. So when you make your videos and photography, or even when you're on your haricot orchards back in India, you know you're you're helping to create the farm and to grow all the delicious vegetables and fruits. So um, yeah,
I would like to say sorry for the last interview. We were running out of time and battery, so I couldn't ask you some questions in that interview, which
not
I
a
would
problem.
like to ask today. Is it
Yeah,
okay?
sure.
So I wanted to ask you something about Japanese work culture.
Right.
How is it different from Ireland? And let's just compare the two work cultures.
Well, if you remember, Chris said in his interview also, Chris the writer, uh, he said that the devotion to the company is something that you don't see. People work hard in India, people work hard in Australia and Ireland, but in Japan, there's a devotion to the company that you don't see anywhere else. Some people will work way into the night and then sleep, go home, eat something, sleep, take a shower, go back to work. So, they really, you see a lot of people here and they look really tired because they work so hard. So yeah, the devotion to their company is very, very high. And but now more telework in the house, so because of the pandemic. So that was interesting to see how that changed. But I think the majority still devote the office and the workplace or the factory or whatever.
now you have been in Japan for a pretty long time,
16 years.
16 years, and you have worked here pretty much for 16 years. So now you are getting used to, or not getting used to, you are used to the system.
You used to, yeah.
Yeah, but when you first came, what was the most difficult part in adjusting in Japanese work culture?
I don't know. There's a few things. Um, I don't know, like the language barrier can be difficult sometimes. Sometimes I think Japan, they read the atmosphere. I think in our cultures we have to be kind of demonstrative, like direct. You can't in Japan. You have to talk around something, and you have to read the atmosphere.
Yeah, I
You know.
agree.
And yeah, like sometimes you know there are a few things, but I think on the whole, actually, it's good to have a chance to come here and work. And I do encourage people in India or anyone who's watching that it's a good chance to come here and work. Um, is it always easy? No, it can be quite hard. People sometimes narrow-minded, or you feel you can't fit in.
Yeah.
But I think that's why we have so many farm friends. We kind of share the isolation sometimes you feel here together. So you feel part of the community, and you can unload your problems and chat together and share and talk about difficulties. But I will say, it's safe here, it's convenient here, it's a good level of life here, good quality of life. So I think the complaints that we have are always small, thankfully,
Yeah.
and we always have jobs and we have work, and everything. So that's a good thing.
Is there anything else which you would like to talk about or discuss which I might have forgotten to ask you?
Yeah. Um, no, I just think it'd be good for you one day to come to Ireland. I would like to show you Ireland. I would like to um, say that Ireland, for the viewers in India, that it's a great place. People are friendly. They're full of fun. We have some lovely places to visit and look at. And yeah, I love my country just like you love India. Um, I don't know if I could have continued on and on living there. I think me coming to Japan, or you coming to Japan, was good for our life. And we met wives from here when we came here. So yeah, that's all I want to say. Really, I'm glad of your support always and your help. And you've done a lot for me and our music and things. So I'm very grateful. And I would like to say to people on the YouTube and who are watching that please keep watching, and the videos are very interesting and visually fantastic. And yeah, big success to Harry.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
And I would like to say you again that please continue making great music.
Thank you, sir.
I will be always there to
Thank you, man.
take your music to
Let's
the
help
other
each
people.
other. Let's help each
You
other.
know. So in the last, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Let's
today.
have a good summer.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was today's interview. Probably I will be interviewing him or recording his other music.
Look forward to it.
So until then,
Thank you, Harry.
goodbye. So this was our video today. I hope you learned something about Ireland and you did enjoy the video. I'll be back with some other video. Until then, sayonara. Take care.